Those of you who have wet a line in these waters know that fishing Perdido Key is as close to idyllic as it gets. Stretching 16 miles across Florida's Panhandle, this barrier island is surrounded by phenomenal fishing locations. We'll try to cover as many of them as possible, go over top catches and seasonality, and make sure you have all the information you need before planning your trip. But before you do, be sure to like and subscribe to watch more videos about the hottest fishing spots around the globe. Since Perdido Key is a barrier island, this means you can either fish the calmer waters inshore or head out in the other direction in pursuit of even bigger fish. The sheltered lagoons on the north side of the island are famous for holding lots of redfish. They're available throughout most of the year with two prominent peaks in both spring and fall. You'll come across a solid amount of spotted seatrout here as well. Their seasonality is similar to that of redfish, however, they become more active throughout the cooler months of the year. You can also expect other inshore favorites such as flounder, sheepshead, black drum, and jack crevalle to be available throughout most of the year. If you venture out past the island's sheltered waters into the Gulf, you'll have even more opportunities to catch a wider range of fish. There are a number of reefs dotted along the coast that are home to various delicious bottom dwellers like snapper, grouper, and triggerfish. Just keep in mind that red snapper are subject to strict seasons in both federal and state waters. So if you want to catch one, plan your trip in the summer. Same goes for several grouper species such as gag, red, and black grouper. So always be sure to check the local rules and regulations before you head out. You'll also encounter the likes of cobia, amberjack, and kingfish in deeper waters. The best time to target cobia is spring, and amberjack in both spring and fall, while king mackerel fishing is hottest in late summer through fall. While we don't expect you to memorize the seasonality of each fish, like we mentioned earlier, it's always a good idea to check before you head out. Your best bet is to hop on a Perdido Key fishing charter, especially if you're heading offshore. Out here, you'll need a well-equipped boat and a knowledgeable guide to guarantee a successful day on the water. Just head over to FishingBooker.com or download the app to browse the best deals in the area and book your trip today. But before you do, let's take a look at some of the top fishing spots on Perdido Key. Whether on foot, in a kayak, or aboard a charter, there are plenty of prime locations to cast a line from. We'll start off from the northern shore of the Big Lagoon. This green area offers unfettered access to the grassy flats and mangroves located in and around the state park. It's a great spot for shore fishing or heading out on a kayak. Then you got Perdido Key Bridge, which separates the island from the Pensacola side and attracts a range of inshore fish. Perdido Pass Jetty is another popular spot located right at the entrance to Perdido Bay. Both of these structures create a break in the current, which slows the water down and allows fish to rest and wait for their food to come to them. They also provide cover, which allow them to avoid predators and ambush prey. That being said, look for structures like these and you're off to a great start. And then finally, if you're hopping on a boat, there are tons of offshore structures like we mentioned earlier, artificial reefs, but also lots of shipwrecks and oil platforms as well. However, if you do decide to trek out into deeper territory, be prepared for a fight, as the fish out here can grow to tremendous sizes. When it comes to fishing Perdido Key, there are several ways to go about casting a line here. If you've got your own gear, surf and pier fishing are excellent options since the whole town is essentially one long stretch of beach that separates the inshore lagoons from the Gulf's open waters. If you want to explore less accessible inshore waters such as mangroves, kayak fishing is the way to go. This is a great option for more experienced anglers. However, if you're just getting started, there are also plenty of kayak and paddleboard fishing guides on Perdido Key that are ready to take you out and show you how it's done. And then finally, there's charter fishing. Whether you want to get to the heart of the lagoon, hit the reefs, or head offshore, there are hundreds of captains on the island ready to take you out at any given moment. You'll have everything you need on board, including rods, reels, and bait, plus a knowledgeable guide who will tailor the experience based on your needs. Just download the FishingBooker app and choose one out of 240 captains on Perdido Key to start planning your trip. But before you do, there are some important rules and regulations we need to cover first. As mentioned earlier, certain species in Florida are subject to closed seasons as well as strict size and bag limits. Some of these include amberjack, red snapper, and red, black, and gag grouper. Also remember, there are certain fish that are catch and release only, such as tarpon and snook. And finally, regardless of whether you're fishing from shore, kayak, or a boat, you'll need to get yourself a Florida fishing license if you're over the age of 16. However, if you're hopping on a saltwater charter, you won't have to worry about that since the captain's license covers everyone on board. Your guide will also make sure you're fishing within the legal limits and respecting any closed seasons as well. For further details on Florida fishing licenses and regulations, you can check our full blog article or visit myfwc.com for the most up-to-date rules and regs. And when you're ready to check out Perdido Key for yourself, download the FishingBooker app or visit us online. You'll be able to browse and compare fishing charters, read customer reviews, and book your trip in just a few taps. So, what are you waiting for? Head over to the App Store or go to fishingbooker.com to experience fishing on Perdido Key.